So this post says, what is it about Spider-Man that there can be 4 concurrent film/TV projects, not to mention ongoing comics, without creating fatigue around the character? To that, I'd say that Spider-Man, especially in modern times, he's become more of like an ideal or a concept rather than like one specific story or one specific individual. Because in these 4 projects and Spider-Man related media in general, the premise is simple. A person, more often a young person, gets extraordinary powers and then has to balance those powers with an ordinary life. If they face setbacks, they face challenges, but nevertheless they still persevere and push through. And that works whether it's Peter Parker in the MCU, Miles Morales in his own movies, and older Ben Reilly, even a teenage Peter Parker still finding his footing as Spider-Man works in a show like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Because they're all drawn from the same character archetype without feeling the exact same. And these projects also occupy different lanes, as you got MCU Peter Parker doing his thing with the big blockbuster movies, you got an older Ben Reilly doing his thing as the Spider and as a detective, you got Miles Morales in the animated movies, you know, pushing forward animation to film me doing his thing over there, and then you also have a younger teenage Peter Parker still finding his footing as Spider-Man. You know, there's different lanes that this kind of character can occupy without the general audience getting tired of these stories being told. But if 4 different Peter Parker movies released in the MCU every year, I do think fans would eventually get tired of that. And a big part of the reason why a character like Spider-Man has such a big draw on the general audience is because not only is he inspirational and he gives people something to strive towards, he's relatable. And comparing Spider-Man to other heroes, people don't really see themselves in Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. It's just a bit harder to envision yourselves as those characters. But then you have a character like Spider-Man. I think at one point in everybody in the world's life, we've all felt a little similar to Peter Parker. Stressing about money, the relationship problems, school, life, getting a job. Everybody can relate to him, which makes him such a great character. And that relatability gives the character such a wide margin before fans start to feel like, wow, we're getting a lot of Spider-Man content, maybe they need to calm down. And it's been quite some time since the idea of alternate Spider-People were introduced, but the point is, it's okay if we have Peter over there doing his thing in the movies, and Miles over there doing his thing in his animated movies, and another Peter Parker, and Gwen Stacy, and Ben Reilly, and, you know, Spider-Man 99. It doesn't matter, because there are endless amounts of Spider-Man that they can tell stories about. And at the end of the day, the idea that Stan Lee pushed was that anybody can wear the mask. But let me know what y'all think. Why do y'all feel as though Spider-Man is a character where we can get countless stories told about different versions of the character and still want more? And as usual, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop me a like and a follow. I got more content on the way for y'all.